Welcome to Gene and Mike do the New York Times crossword.
Hi, I'm Jean.
And I'm Mike. And today we're doing the crossword for Sunday, September 1st, 2024. So, on a day that is an eve of some other holiday, Labor Day?
You got it.
All right, on the second try. Did you do the crossword?
I did do the crossword.
And what do you think?
I thought it was a good crossword for Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Very typical Sunday crossword.
Right.
And I can't tell you how many times I'm like, oh, I see what they're doing now. And it was like, no, that's not what they're doing. And then, oh, I see what they're doing now. And I'm like, no, not yet. But I eventually figured out what they were doing in the crossword.
Okay. Well, I mean, they did sort of spell it out in a way with the title.
Yes.
And the little X's.
Yes, the little X's should have been a clue.
Right.
Right off the bat there.
Yep.
But anyway, yeah, it was a good puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of a bit of a palate cleanser after yesterday's. I noticed they did have the word, 64 down, like Santa after Christmas, presumably, sooty.
Sooty, yes.
So they had an echo back to Saturdays.
That's right.
So now I'm having flashbacks.
No.
But I didn't see anything else that was too resemblant of that.
Well, good.
Why don't we talk about the theme, because it is sort of dramatic and staring us in the face.
Well, it is. There were a number of clues, 12 to be exact, that included a number. And they all converged in up, down, left, and right into sort of like a pinwheel, circling around 4 shaded squares. And so the object was to try to figure out what to put in those shaded squares. And it did say, there was a note on the puzzle, each square in the shaded areas is to be filled with a numerical digit.
Singular.
Mm-hmm. Yes, 1 digit. So, for example, we'll just do the first one, which involved 37 across and 2 down and
3 down.
And 3 down and 45 across.
And 38 down.
And 38 down, yes. Okay. So 37 down was West Coast NCAA Conference that lost 10 teams in 2024. And the answer to that was Pac-12. So there were 5 squares, 2 of them being the shaded squares. So I thought, oh, okay, Pac, P-A-C, 1, 2.
Right.
Okay. So then you go to 3 down, and that was coming of age celebration. Well, the answer was Sweet 16. And you could fill in the sweet, and then you had the 2 blank squares. And I thought, oh, okay, Sweet 16, but you'd already put 2 from the Pac-12 in the first square after sweet.
Right.
So that did not work. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So then 45 across was a typical length of February, and that was 2 shaded squares, and then DAYS, or days. So that had to be 28 days. And of course, you had already, we hadn't filled anything in there. So I put in 2-8, but then the one going down was 38 down, military honors with fired artillery, and that was a 21 gun salute. So 2-1 should have gone in those first 2 squares and then gun salute afterwards. But of course, they were already filled with other numbers from the other 3 clues. So I had to figure out something else. So then I thought, well, maybe as long as they added to, 21, Sweet 16, Pac-12, and 28, it would work. But of course, it didn't, because you could only put 1 digit in, and it didn't work. So then there, within these little shaded squares, there were little X's on the lines between each of the squares, which should have been a giveaway that you needed to multiply the numbers in order to get the right answer.
Yes.
So for pack 12, you could put a 3 in the first one and a 4 in the second one. So 3 times 4 is 12. For Sweet 16, you had that 4 already from pack 12. And then if you put another 4 below it, that would give you 16.
4 times 4. Mm-hmm.
4 times 4. And then the 28 days, 45 across, you've already got a 4. So if you put a 7 in the other one, you get 28. And then that 7... from 28 days, and the 3 from pack 10 are the 2 squares above gun salute. So 7 times 3, 21.
21 gun salute.
So you had to multiply within each of those squares.
Yes.
And there were 3 of those. So it was a little bit of a challenge, but thankfully the clues were pretty straightforward, or the answers were very simple.
For some people.
Like 23 down, weight gained at the start of college informally, and that was the freshman 15.
Right.
And 71 across. Short nap was 40 winks, and 72 down. Always open workout spots, 24-hour gyms, and 76 across. Location of elation in an idiom, and that was cloud 9. So they were very common phrases that had numbers in them.
The only
we
one
also had hang 10,
right,
8-bit, fantastic 4, and the only one I didn't know but I was able to figure out was 20 pence, which was 1/5 of a pound. So a pound has 100 pence, so 1/5 would be 20.
Yeah, I read that and first thought it was, for some reason I was thinking 10%, and so I had 5 times 2, which meant it would have been 4-bit for the Nintendo consoles, and that seemed a bit extreme.
Yeah.
And Pac 12, I also was a little bit, I thought it was Pac 12, but I wasn't sure. So,
yep.
But the rest of them I found pretty easy. But the title of the crossword was product integration. And so the integration might throw you off a bit, but it did have the word product in there.
Yes.
So
I'm glad they didn't have any integration in there.
Right.
I would not have survived that.
I think that was just a clever reference to the fact that they are integrating the number into the answer.
I know, yes.
Well, you know that, but I had to mansplain, so
but,
now I've done my job.
But yes, I was just referring to integrals.
But
we're not in there.
There were a few places where I was definitely sort of slowed down, like 19 across, magazine with Maison and Enfant spin-offs, and the answer was Marie-Claire.
Right.
And somehow I got enough letter. At first, I had that L in the 5 from the end, and and then I had an A after that, and I started thinking about planet. I don't know why. And then I had it starting with an M, and then I thought it was going to be like, and then the 5th letter was an E, so I thought it was going to be Monde, like Le Monde, the French newspaper. I was just sort of flailing around, and then I got a couple more letters, and I'm like, I wonder if Marie-Claire, it sounded right. I don't even know where I know that from.
It's a pretty famous magazine.
Is it? Do we subscribe to it?
No.
Okay, just checking. Is it in French?
No, it's English.
Okay.
I suppose they make a French version too.
Well, I mean...
But no, you can buy it in English.
Okay. I'll have to at least go to the website to understand more about Marie-Claire. We had 8 down, do in biblically. I started off with slayeth because, when you slay, they slay people in the Bible, right?
No, they smite them.
They smite them. That is the correct answer, yes. But I liked...
They also slay them.
Yes, I like slayeth.
Like David slayed Goliath.
Has thou dost slayeth thine brother? I certainly didn't know the one next to it. 9 down, that was A Little Devil in America writer Abdurraqib.
No, I did not know
And
that.
the answer was Hanif.
Hanif.
I'm like, now it's starting to feel like a Saturday again. And I had trouble with, at the bottom of the standings perhaps, for 11 down, that was winless. That took me a while to get.
Oh.
Did that just leap to mind when you saw it?
No, it didn't, but I got it.
12 down, pop blank, book genre. I went for pop-ups.
Oh, like kids pop-up books?
Yeah, I think that's a genre. But it turns out they were looking for pop-sci.
Right.
Popular science, I guess. And I did not know, at least I don't think I knew, 12 across, lentil-based stew from 42 down. And 42 down was India, and the answer here was sambar.
No, I did not know that either. But I got it through the downs, yeah.
The one down that I was unsure of there was the penultimate letter of sambar was filmmaker Astor. And it was Ari Aster. Mm-hmm. You know Ari Aster?
No, I did not. But I got the R and the I, and I thought, well, it could be.
It could be Ari. It could have been Yuri. Right? There was like Yuri Geller.
Yeah, but isn't that spelled with a Y and a U, or was that just a U?
It's spelled URI.
Okay,
so.
Well, I went with Airy.
Good choice. I went with Airy, but I got the entire grid filled in, did not solve, and now you have to guess where my mistake was.
Let's see. Well, there was no Spanish in there, so was it ESPNU?
No, that one, the New York Times has taught me.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
And
I bet I know. Was it Lotus Tree?
No, although I was having trouble there because, let's see, Lotus Tree was, where was that now?
That was 893 across.
Right, 93 across. Source of a sleep-inducing narcotic in the Odyssey. Mm-hmm. So that last letter, 89 down, on the blank, often informally, and I had the first letter as an R, and the last letter is a G, and I thought, on the rag? They wouldn't use a phrase like that, would they? But
no, they wouldn't.
But so I had Lotus Tria for a bit, because the correct answer was on the reg.
On the reg. It's just like sesh and...
I've never heard on the reg.
All those truncated words that we now see in the crossword puzzle. That, on the reg.
I mean, to say that it's informal means that you're saying, what, on the regular? That makes no sense.
Or just regularly. That's too hard for people to say. Regularly.
I don't know. Anyway,
so on the reg it is.
So I eventually went with Lotus Tree there, but that wasn't my mistake. My mistake was in the top left corner, 23 across kitchen sampler. I had tester.
Oh.
And that crossed with 18 down, surfer's hand sign, which is shaka. Not shaka. Mm-hmm. or shika. Shika.
Yeah, no.
I thought shika sounded pretty good, but I guess shaka sounds better.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Well, I had trouble there because I put locust tree instead of lotus tree. But actually,
I would hate
locust. I was missing a T there, so I'm like, if it was locust tree, it should be USTTREE. So then I realized, it must be lotus. Because I didn't know 87 down. Smartphone service initials.
LTE.
LTE. What does that stand for?
I'm not sure what it stands for, but it's sort of like, now we have like 5G service. It's a slower cellular and system. But I mean, it's still pretty good, but not as good as it might be. So, if you see like LTE, it's just like great. I'm not getting my best signal. People who live in large cities will have no idea what I'm talking about, I think, because they probably all get 5G everywhere. Mm-hmm. But let's see, what else was interesting here? I had my traditional problem with 15 down, Winter Olympics event. I had it ending with LON, and then I had HLON. I'm like, it's a triathlon or something, but I wanted it to be thalon, not the lawn with the A missing. Anyways, it was biathlon,
right? Not
biathlon,
right.
Which always strikes me as wrong.
Well, take it up
or wrong
with the Olympic Commission.
I'll take it up with Joel Fagliano. I bet he's heard everything. Let's see. 20 down was inbox greeting. I found that rather challenging. It was e-card.
Yes.
When I guess I believe it.
Yes. Inbox greeting, like a greeting card. You know,
Sure.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Get a little e-card now and then.
I just
Now
think
more people, I think, just say happy birthday on Facebook or social media or something. But, you used to get e-cards. I used to get e-cards all the time.
I guess I just think of the word greeting as the first thing you say in an email. Like, dear sir or madam or thing.
Not like greeting card.
Right. Mm-hmm. But it was, in fact, as you say, e-card. Yeah. I certainly had problems with the reason why I was having trouble with India and Sambar. The cross that gave the first I of India was same. And so I went with me too. So I had Ondia.
Oh.
And I'm like, I don't think that's a country.
Nope.
The great country of Ondia. Mm-hmm. But so.
I also put me too. But it was as do I.
Yes.
41.
Yep.
There's certain phrases that will fit, as do I, or me too, mm-hmm. or I don't know, maybe also, I also, but anyway, yeah. There's like 3 or 4 that will fit into that clue.
Right.
As do I.
We had, 88 down. Perfume, as at a mass, was sense.
Yes. Spelled
C-E-N-S-E.
Right.
And I was reflecting on the fact that you have the word sense, the word sense as in money, the word sense as in a feeling, and sense as in an aroma.
That's right.
I thought, what a great word. They're like 4 homophones. Mm-hmm. And so I was thinking of constructing a terrific sentence with, I had to pay many cents to get the sense of the sense, but I came to my senses and didn't. So I wonder how many words there are like that have got 4 different pronunciations. Probably a lot. Mm-hmm. But it's the first one I've noticed.
Yeah,
so
yeah, that's very astute of you.
Why, thank you. Mm-hmm. Usually it's just stute, but okay. Mm-hmm. Let's see.
I like 128 across. Press on beauty products. Fake nails.
Yes.
I mean, that is not what they are called, I am sure. I think I'm going to go in and buy some fake nails. But they just laid it out there what they really are. They are fake nails.
Well, they can't charge as much if they call them fake nails. Just like they don't call crowns fake teeth.
Yeah. Yeah, come get your fake teeth. That'll be $500.
111 down. Ned, who composed an operatic version of Our Town, Rorem. Ned Rorem.
Yes.
That sounds almost impossible to get other than through the crosses.
Oh, yeah, I did not know that. I didn't even know there was a musical version of Our Town. But
an operatic version, no less.
An operatic version, no less, yes.
Yeah, there were quite a few names here that, another example, 54 across, let's see, Oscar-winning actor in Farmers Insurance ads, mm-hmm. J.K. Simmons.
Yeah, I did know that one.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
What's J.K. Simmons famous for, apart from being in a Farmers Insurance ad?
He actually played, in the very first Spider-Man, he played the editor of the newspaper.
Perry White?
No, that's Superman.
Oh, great. Now I'm blanking. Wait, don't tell me.
The one who's always yelling at Spider-Man and saying, "Get me a picture of Spider-Man."
I can see him right now.
Anyway, that's how I knew him, because he was Spider-Man. But he's been in a lot of. He won an Oscar for a movie where he played a very stern percussion instructor. Mm-hmm. I can't remember what the name of that movie was, but anyway, he's a very good actor. But he also does the insurance commercials, and they're usually pretty funny.
Oh, okay.
So, mm-hmm. But yeah, there was him, and there was another. Well, there was the Hanif.
Yes.
The top.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Quite a few names that just didn't register.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Jameson. That was the name.
Oh, yeah. J. Jonas Jameson.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Yeah.
And it was was that the Daily Planet?
No, that was Superman.
Daily Bugle?
I don't know.
Oh, no.
I think it was the New York Times.
Really? Peter Parker worked at the New York Times? Hard to believe.
It still does.
Yeah. 80 across, I thought was a fun word. Task recipient. Delegatee.
Delegatee, yeah.
As opposed to a delegator.
Delegator.
A delegatee sounds like where you go get your lunch. But anywho, and maybe you have to go through the delegatee to get in.
Perhaps.
The delegatee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And what else was... there's another one here that was 81 down. Surrealist James Ensor. Did you know James Ensor?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, like I said, there's just like tons of names that I've not heard.
There was one I knew right away, though, 56 across. Writer whose work is hell to get through. Oh, of course, that was Dante.
Yes.
That was funny.
That was a sort of a gimme, but well done.
Mm-hmm. Well, with all the other, and authors and novelists and opera people, it was nice to have a name I knew right away.
Right. Well, I always look at it as the New York Times hinting as to names you should investigate and ideas and people you should know. Mm-hmm. And then considering again that this is a themed crossword and they had to work in a lot of tricky phrasing to make this work. Right. You look at the finished product and think, oh, this is effortless. Uh-huh. But of course, it must have taken a tremendous amount of blood, sweat, and tears by Shandy Dietmar and Matthew Stock to get this right. So
another one I got right off the bat, I'm sure many people did, was 65 across. Arr, welcome aboard me ship. Mm-hmm. And it was ahoy, matey.
Yes.
What else could it be but ahoy, matey?
Well, I was a little bit worried about the Y at the end because 68 down, longed for, was yend. Uh-huh. And I've heard the word yen. I have a yen for something, but I've never seen yend before.
No, I have never seen the past tense of yen.
And that just looked wrong, but I mean, the rules of the language would, support it.
Yep.
So, all right. I think that is it for today.
Okay.
So thanks everyone for listening.
Yep.
Hope you're all having a good long weekend if you happen to be living in the United States and celebrating such. Otherwise, remember you can always get a hold of us, crosswordpodcast at iCloud.com. And we would like to thank you, as always, for making this one of the most popular podcasts about the New York Times crossword to come out of Northeast Wisconsin.
Yep.
And we will be back again with our incisive, cutting-edge analysis of tomorrow's crossword tomorrow.
Bye-bye.